Hello, everyone, and hello again. Welcome to Peak Reviews. On today's episode, this is a very quick one. I wanted to give you an overview on the actual Valve Steam Deck. It's been out, you could get it for about a year now through certain channels, different ways of buying it, but it's actually officially out for about a week or so now, where you can actually order it on Steam. Sorry, on Valve Steam, yeah. And I've had this now for over a week, a little bit less than that. So I wanted to give it a bit of time to sink in and then give you like an opinion of what I think about this device. Um, from the offset, is this a competitor or a replacement for Nintendo Switch? The answer is no. No, it's not. This is a Linux distro, desktop, and handheld device, meaning this is a handheld PC. Um, it's really quite incredible what they've done here to cram such a thing into such a. I mean, it's still a monster to carry around, but it's if you compare it to a laptop, for example, this is like squeezed in, and I don't know how they've done it with the hardware that's running. It has an AMD chip in it. It has M2 SSD. I went for the 256 gigabyte variant, which is not the most expensive. You can go for a 512. With the 512, you get the option to have like a few like customized things like virtual keyboard customization, and also they put in a anti-glare screen actually in the screen. But for me, that doesn't bother me because I actually bought an anti-glare screen on Amazon that you can put on yourself. So in a way, you have your own option without having to. I can take it off if I didn't like it. You know, once it's in there as standard, it's not so easy to do. So anyway, when I got this device, you have to set it up. So the first thing you should do is obviously go through the menu and then have everything set up and then do your OS update. So it's running on, as I said, a Linux distro. The actual distro of the Linux system is Arch Linux. So it's been modified to be more like a Windows system. I'll show you the desktop mode in a second. But once you've done that, you're logged in. And the first thing you should ever do is do all the updates because they've patched a lot of things since the release. And once you're in, you have your whole library basically you can access. Another tip that you should be doing is that you should get a external SD card. I recommend the Samsung. I bought a 500 gigabyte one because the games, even the older games, they take up gigabytes, and the internal storage is not going to be enough. Actually, you should buy a 1 terabyte external, to be honest, if you really want to go wild. But once you've done that, you can start installing all your games. Now, what's fantastic about this thing is that for me, somebody who has very limited time, I bought some games on Steam, got quite a collection over the years, just simply no time to play them. How I'm finding now, having a portable PC, if I go on the train, etc., I get a little bit of playtime in there, and I'm finding I'm catching up with all my library that I had for many years, and this is amazing. Right off the bat, this is totally amazing, and you can't compare it to a Switch. Like I said, Switch is great, but it's a console. It's a catered console. This thing is a portable PC, and you can do all kinds of stuff. Emulation. You can just do so much. You can even run. I mean, unofficially, you can probably run Switch games on this thing. This thing it will a lot to work around. You could get it working. So it's absolutely fantastic. Now I want to talk about the going back to the OS. So once you've installed that, you can literally just go into the menu system and you can go through. You can buy on store what you want. You can. It's basically Steam, um, as we know it, but on a handheld PC that has two modes, which I'll show you now. But once you do that, you can just go. Now I'm playing a game that I hadn't played for a long time. And look, it even has a touch screen. Look at that. So I can go back into the game now. and it's really snappy. I mean, you can't really see well from this image, but like, okay, this is a very old game, right? This is like 12, 13 years old. It still looks amazing. The actual resolutions on this are 1028 scaling, so it's not even full HD, but you do not recognize it at all. Like, you don't. It looks really amazing. It's an LCD panel. It's not an OLED, unfortunately. That would have been really great. Oh shit. No, I'm going to pause it because I'm getting attacked here. Alan Wake, crazy game. So anyway, this thing, if I go back to the menu, and I go back to my library, sorry. This thing can basically, you have like all games, so all your stuff in the library. But on top of that, you have installed, which I got here, but you have on the last section, sorry, I'm using one hand, you have great on Steam Deck. And as you can see, Alan Wake has a tick. The half circle is there, so it's not totally fully compatible, but it has the verified Valve certification that this game will run very smoothly on this device. Having said that, I've played most of the majority of these games, pardon me, and I've not encountered one issue. Like, they're running really quite well. The only one I had issue with when I tested it, I haven't tried all of the games here. You can't really see it, but Sonic Generations is not here. That crashed on me. That was the only one, and it's funny enough because it's like meant to be for the Steam Deck, but it was crashing on me. But everything else was working perfectly. So aside from that, you have another option here where you can like adjust the settings. So I can go into it and I can basically play around if I want to. Like, I can make it more performance orientated. So I've gone performance overlay quality, overlay level. So you can actually like tinker this on. So you can get less, like you can get more battery but less performance, etc. So you can really play around with this. Look, there's even like refresh rates. So I like to have it like a frame cap rate on 60. But you can play around. You can have like more settings. It's a PC, man. It's like totally a PC. I have kept it very basic. I'm not going to try and push this thing because I only really use it when I'm on travel to and from A to B occasionally. So I'm not going to try and push this thing to its limits because I want to conserve the battery. I don't have a power pack for it yet. I may get one later on down the line. But that's pretty much it. This is the first part. This is like a dual boot thing because you have this, which is the gaming interface. Now if I go into here and I go down to power, there's also an option where you can just press the power button and you can just do it that way. But look, now I'm switching into a desktop. So it will reboot and then it will take me back and bang, I am literally in a desktop, which is quite special really. So I got all the capabilities I would with a normal desktop. I have browser function. This touchscreen is really cool. One thing I noticed with the desktop is that you have to, if you want to use the onboard keyboard, you're going to have to use a combination of keys, which is, I can't do it because I got this, so I'll have to put the camera down, which is normally this, Steam, and X. So it's like Steam and X. And that could be, so if that's if you want to bring up the virtual keyboard. I'll quickly show you. There you go. So you get the virtual keyboard up. And now you can use it like you would a standard keyboard. But what's really cool is the left panel here acts as like a mouse. So you can navigate and choose like what lettering you need. And the right one does it on the other end. So it like splits the virtual keyboard from here to here. And it was really weird at first. I had like a lot of trouble to get used to it, but after a while, it was like really good. It was becomes sort of natural where you can just sort of go around and navigate. Of course, you can use the joystick if you want to. There's that option, or you can even use like a touchscreen option. So you have like three different options. Or you can dock this thing. I'll probably do a video on that, and you can use it like a standard PC with like proverbial integration such as mouse and keyboard and a monitor. So it's a workstation, which isn't crazy. And what's really cool is you can actually install OBS, and this thing can record the screen. And let me just get rid of that. But you can just record the screen like you would on a normal PC, and you can do like desktop recording. So you could effectively like play this in desktop mode, and you could like literally use it to stream or record your videos, which is totally insane. Now, another option that you can do is you can go back out. Look, I'm using it like you would a normal PC. It's just totally insane. I can go into Steam library, like double clicking on there, and I can literally, like, if I want to like use it on desktop mode, sorry, let me just get rid of that. If I want to use it on desktop mode, then I would go into Steam application like you would on a desktop, and then I can use the proper, because if you dock this like it is now, it will output the scale of the native resolution to your 4K monitor or your 1080p monitor, whatever. So you have to go into desktop with Steam, and then you have to adjust it like you would a real gaming PC. The test that I've did, don't expect a power horse. Yeah, I mean you can't really expect it, but my God, I was seeing with some of the older games like Doom, I was even getting 60 frames at 4K with this thing docked. So you think about that in terms of like having to invest in a gaming PC, etc., or even a gaming laptop. Of course, you're going to get better performance from those devices, no question. But this thing, I don't know how it does it, but it manages to pull it off to a reasonable level. Like, I really was quite impressed, like just how well it handled. You have to put it on low settings or even medium. You can get away with medium. Some of the like Arcane Origins from Batman, you can get away with that, but you're gonna have to downscale everything, like from the graphic perspective, because it won't be able to handle it. That's where high-end PCs come in differently. But saying that, we can actually return back to gaming mode now. So if I double click on that, it will take me back to the actual OS, and bang, I'm back in gaming mode. I can take it with me and play. But the thing I want to say is this thing is absolutely mind-blowing considering what it is. And I think within a couple of years' time, I think Valve will really sort out the some of the issues, the bugs, and they will make it smooth to basically work on every game in your library. And it almost feels like a kind of a beta at the moment. It's not 100% there, but you can see that this thing really is like revolutionary in terms of what it can do and where it's going. Like you can literally just have the opportunity to game now when you're on the go and catch up with your games. So yeah, I hope you like the overview of this thing. Not going to do any fancy editing, just simply do not have time for that. It's just a quick video to give you an overview of this thing. It's absolutely a brilliant device. I recommend it to anybody. Um, you know, to my opinion, why do you need consoles or even a gaming PC when you can take this thing with you and you can game in your time that where you would normally be staring at windows, etc. So yeah, I totally could give this thing like a solid 9 out of 10. It's really amazing. When I first booted, I was like, "Is this thing real?" You know, I don't want to go to that extreme, but it felt that way. So yeah, if you like the video, please subscribe, leave comments. Thank you.